Thank you. Thank you very much. Delia, oh Delia, Delia all my life. If I hadn't a shot poor Delia, I'd have had her for my wife. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. I went up to Memphis, met Delia there. I found her in her parlor, and I tied her to her chair. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. She was cold and trifling, she was hard and mean. Kind of woman make me want to grab my submachine. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. First time I shot her in the side. Hard to watch her suffer, but with the second shot she died. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. But jailer, oh jailer, jailer, I can't sleep, 'cause all around my bedside I hear the patter of Delia's feet. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. So if your woman's trifling, you can let her run, or you can bring her down and do her like Delia got done. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. Delia's gone, one more round, Delia's gone. Thank you. I've always known that when I had to make a speech, it would be good if I had my guitar handy to fall back on, something comfortable. And it's great to be with you, even with Australian jet lag, which is the worst kind. It's about 20 hours difference in time. It's sometime next week in Australia. Hadn't quite figured out what yet. The little laryngitis from the trip, but I'm really glad to be here, and I'm proud to be asked to make what they call the keynote address, whatever that is. I started, my love of music started when, as far back as I can remember, when I was 3 years old, actually. When I was 3, I heard my first hillbilly folk record on the radio, and it was Hobo Bill's Last Ride. When I was about 4, Hobo Bill's Last Ride became my song, and the neighbors would come over to hear it. And I always loved the story songs, and I always thought, you know, if they could put records on the radio like that with just a guitar, maybe someday I could do that too. And it was really the only way I heard the music was just with the guitar. There was Jimmy Rogers, there was Gene Autry's first records, the Carter Family. Some real basic folk stuff, you know, was what I grew up on when I was a boy. And I always dreamed of recording those songs. And you'd think it's strange that after 39 years in the music business, I hadn't been able to do that. But I have not been able to do that. There's always been this or that concept, this or that project that the producer and I would always agree that we wanted to do. But my heart was really in taking my guitar and showing the folks what I had. And I've never been able to do that until now. And then in getting the songs in and recording and listening to songs for this new album, I discovered that whole world of music that was my heritage. The black blues, the black gospel, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, the folk songs, the songs that were originally just recorded with the guitar, and I got to thinking, even though I only know 3 chords on the guitar, not all of them had to play like Chet Atkins, and I found that was great. I did learn 1 new chord on the guitar in the last year, because all these writers kept sending me all these songs, and finally the producer and I agreed that if I was going to play this one I really loved, that I was going to have to learn a new chord. So I actually learned 2, but I can only play 1 of them. But you see, I found that the joy of learning, of doing something new and doing something the way it really feels right here and right here and right here. It's got nothing to do with age, grandchildren. Back about 1825, I left Tennessee very much alive. I never would have made it through the Arkansas mud if I hadn't been riding on a Tennessee stud. Had some trouble with my sweetheart's paw. One of her brothers was a bad outlaw. I wrote a letter to my Uncle Bud, and I rode away on the Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood. There never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Rode right down into no man's land, crossed that river called the Rio Grande. Found that girl with the golden hair, she was riding on a Tennessee mare. Me and the gambler, we couldn't agree. We got in a fight over Tennessee. We pulled our guns and he fell with a thud, and I rode away on the Tennessee stud. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood. There never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Rode right back across Arkansas, whipped her brother and I whipped her paw. I found that girl with the golden hair, she was riding on a Tennessee mare. Pretty little baby on the cabin floor, little horse colt playing round the door. I love the girl with the golden hair, and the Tennessee stud loves a Tennessee mare. The Tennessee stud was long and lean, the color of the sun, and his eyes were green. He had the nerve and he had the blood. There never was a horse like the Tennessee stud. Thank you. I remembered recently the great freedom I had on Sun Records when I started in 1955. How Sam Phillips would say, "What else you got?" You know? And I loved that in a producer to say, "What else?" I didn't know it at the time, but that was the greatest thing in the world for a producer to say to me, "What else you got?" And all these great songs that came in the last year, a lot of which we recorded, about 70 of them in all, that they inspired me to write more. And then I would go to California to record for 2 or 3 days and then come back next month. This went on for 9 months and record some more. And he would always say, we're sitting in front of a microphone in his living room, he'd always say, "What else you got?" And I just loved that. My Vietnam song. It's called Drive On, It Don't Mean Nothing. I got a friend named Whiskey Sam. He was my boonie rat buddy for a year and now. He said, "I think my country got a little off track. Took him 25 years to welcome me back." but it's better than not coming back at all. Many a good man I saw fall, and even now, every time I dream, I hear the men and the monkeys in the jungle scream. Drive on, it don't mean nothing. My children love me, but they don't understand. And I got a woman who knows her man. Drive on, it don't mean nothing, it don't mean nothing. Drive on. I remember one night, Tex and me rappelled in on a hot LZ. We had our 16s on rock and roll, and with all that fire, I was scared and cold. I was crazy and I was wild, and I have seen the tiger smile. I spit in a bamboo viper's face, and I'd be dead, but by God's grace, drive on. It don't mean nothing, the children love me, but they don't understand. And I got a woman who knows her man. Drive on. It don't mean nothing, it don't mean nothing. Drive on. It was a slow walk in a sad rain, and nobody tried to be John Wayne. I came home, but Tex did not, and I can't talk about the hit he got. But I got a little limp now when I walk, and I got a little tremolo when I talk. But I finally found out who I am. I'm a walking, talking miracle from Vietnam. Drive on. It don't mean nothing. The children love me, but they don't understand. And I got a woman who knows her man. Drive on. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Drive on. Thank you. Thank you. A little sip of water here. So many great songs I've heard over the last year. It's like a new life for me. And I think that's, you know, if any artist could be so fortunate to experience, I just wish every artist could experience what I've experienced in the last year. Whether the record sells one or two, it doesn't matter. It's the new kind of lease on life. It gives you, you know, to get back into your world of music and find that you love it more than you ever thought you did, you know. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. And I love this music business. And I love the people in it, the writers. I'm a big fan of really great writers. I got songs from everybody. Rodney Crowell wrote a song for me, Billy Joe. And thank you. And I think I'm getting the old signal that we're going to drag you off if you don't come off. Well, there once was a man, and he just couldn't cry. He hadn't cried for years and for years. Napalmed babies, movie love story, for instance, could not produce tears. As a child, he had cried, as all children will. Then at some point, his tear ducts all ran dry. Grew to be a man, and it all hit the fan. Things got bad, but he couldn't cry. His dog got ran over, his wife up and left him. After that, he got sacked from his job, lost his arm in a war, was laughed at by a whore. Oh, but still not a sniffle or sob. His novel was refused and his movie was panned. His big Broadway show was a flop. Got sent off to jail. You guessed it, no bail. Oh, but still not a dribble or drop. In jail he was beaten, bullied and buggered, and made to make license plates. Water and bread was all he was fed. Not once did a tear stain his face. The doctors were called in, scientists too. Theologians were last and practically least. They all agreed, sure enough, this is no cream puff, but in fact, an insensitive beast. He was taken from jail and placed in a place for the insensitive and the insane. He made a lot of friends, and he played a lot of chess, and he cried every time it would rain. Once it rained 40 days, it rained 40 nights. And he cried, and he cried, and he cried, and he cried. On the 41st day, he passed away. He just dehydrated and died. He went up to heaven, located his dog. After that, he rejoined his arm. Down below, all the doctors, they took it all back. Cancer robbed the whore of her charm. His ex-wife died of stretch marks. His ex-employer went broke. The theologians were finally found out, right down to the ground. Jailhouse burnt down, and the earth suffered perpetual drought.
Day in Austin. And call upon all citizens to join me in recognizing Johnny Cash as an internationally celebrated singer and songwriter whose music transcends generations and appeals to a variety of audiences. In commending his remarkable ability to communicate universal emotions through his music, and in welcoming him to Austin, the live music capital of the universe. Since Johnny Cash is the keynote speaker of this event, and since he has played such a key role in the music industry all of those 39 years, I'm proud to present the key to the city of Austin, our own little corner of the music world. From that,
Thank you very much. Have a good time this weekend. I love you all. Thank you. God bless you.